Alright y'all, so I wanted to come in and make a quick video about finding good scalp setups, because right now I took this little Bitcoin scalp here, and you can see I locked in a quick $300 profit. I still have about 300 unrealized profit. Stop loss is also in profit, so worst case scenario, I'll close the trade with about $350 profit. So, how did I find this trade setup? Because a lot of people are asking me how to scalp on low time frames. And the truth is, when it comes to scalping on low time frames, I don't just look at low time frames. I take a more comprehensive approach. So this specific scalp trade right here began this morning in the VIP Discord when I was looking at the local levels to take trades from. And you can see right here that we have this previous high and we have a golden pocket right above that high right here. Okay? And so I'm specifically looking for an area to take a trade from, all right? A high with a golden pocket just above that high. Okay, now I execute the trade on a very low time frame, and that's what makes it a scalp. But let's kind of reverse engineer the trade, because this is something that if you get into the habit of doing this every day, you can find those really good trade setups. So it all begins on a higher term time frame, right? We're looking at the sideways range that Bitcoin is trading in. And usually any asset, when it's going to be ranging in a sideways market, you'll notice that it will usually have very clearly defined highs and very clearly defined lows and a center point. And what we want to do is we want to find confluence so that we can say, okay, look, if there is a specific level of confluence, I will be looking for a trade there. It doesn't mean I'm going to take a trade there, but it simply means I'm going to be looking for a trade right there. Okay, so we can see that we have this very high volume node in the middle of the range, and then as the price action was playing out today, we can see that if we pull a Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low, that we have the golden pocket lining up perfectly with that high volume node. Okay, now this gives us a level, a very intraday scalp trade level to look for a trade at. Okay, even if things look bullish on a higher term time frame, like the 1 hour looks pretty bullish, right? But we know this level is here, and what this does is it piques our interests, and now we can say, okay, if I'm coming in for a scalp trade, where would a good opportunity be? Now when we zoom into a lower time frame like the 12-minute, we get a lot more interesting information. Okay, first of all, this golden pocket right here, okay, is giving us a few other interesting areas of confluence. All right, number one, we can see that we have this little area of consolidation right here. Okay, some people might call this an order block if we look at a higher term time frame, right? Maybe like the 24-minute time frame or the 20-minute time frame. We have like an order block right here, and also we have this previous high right here where we know that there's liquidity in the market. So what this does is this is identifying for us multiple points of confluence that we can look at to say, I think there's a good chance that Bitcoin is going to get some kind of reaction here, even in an uptrend, which we're in locally, right? Low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. Our job, if we're scalping, is where is that higher high going to be so that we can scalp it down to the higher low. If you see things like this, and actually right now we're coming down to the VWAP, which means that there's a good chance that we might actually bounce from here. So we might come down a little bit lower. But if we are in fact going to look for scalps, we need to identify those key levels. Otherwise, if we're scalping, we're going to end up chasing price, which always is the worst thing you can do. Chasing price is always the worst thing that you can do, because what chasing price does is that will cause you to flop and grope, right? If you know that we're dumping and you try and short, you're probably already going to be too late, right, by the time you get into that short trade. And on the contrary, if you're trying to long and you see we're pumping, you're probably going to be too late by the time you get into that long trade. You need to know in advance where that's going to be. And so we're going to find these areas of confluence. Now, if this is something you don't know how to do, you can check out the course at jasoncaspertrading.com. This course will give you the knowledge and skills you need to become a confident, profitable trader by having a plan in advance, knowing where to look for these types of levels, right? Because I had the plan in advance. I would have never been able to get in right on this wick if I had not had this plan in advance, right? And so it's actually an important skill to have. You can't be scalping if you don't have a plan in advance. In my experience, you cannot be scalping if you don't have a plan in advance. So once we know where we're looking for a scalp, then we need to look at our confirmations. Now for me, that's going to be market cipher B. Very clearly, when I see that we are coming up to an area of resistance, right, I am then looking at these lower term time frames to see, do we have bearish divergences as we come to that level? And the answer is yes. We have bearish divergences. We see momentum getting lower over time. We can even on the 1 minute time frame see that the money flow, if we draw a line from the hump to the hump, is getting lower over time. When you have these confluences and then you see these bearish divergences even on low time frames, there is a high chance that you're going to get some kind of a move down from there. You don't just want to take scalps from anywhere. You have to have lots of confluence, and then you have to look at your indicators. So the three things I want to see on Market Cipher are, number one, bearish divergence with the momentum waves. Number two, bearish divergence with the money flow. Number three, I want to see that RSI looking nice and tight. Okay, I want it to be purple, and I want it to look like there's only one RSI instead of two. I want the stochastic RSI and the regular RSI to come together to form one. And those are going to be the three things that I look for. Then also on the 3 minute time frame, right, I see the same thing. I see the bearish divergence, ever so slight here, but nonetheless still bearish divergence right there. And then when I come to the 12 minute time frame, the higher time frames, what do I see? I see a bearish trigger wave forming with the money flow coming down. All those things together are telling me that this is a good trade to enter into. And we can see now the trade is up now another juicy amount of profits. In fact, 31.99. Let's take a little more profit out at 31.99. Let's see if we can take a little more profit out. Can we do it? Can we do it? I don't know. I don't know. And then once you're in the trade, guys, here's the thing. My stop loss is right here. My stop loss is at 33.50. Right here. Boom. So once you're in the trade, once you lock in that profit, take partial profits out, and then move that stop loss into profit. That way, worst case scenario right now, when I get stopped out, I'm actually going to get stopped out with a profit. Right? You can't go wrong being stopped out in a profit. And best case scenario, this thing is going to keep riding, and perhaps when you know, if this 12-minute trigger wave can take us down a little bit more, maybe to retest daily open or something, then I can get even more money. So it's about identifying levels with lots of confluence, knowing what confirmations you're looking for, locking in profit, and that is how I scalp lower time frames. And it's a little bit more complex than day trades, because with scalps you really have to be on point. But I just wanted to come in and make that video. Hope you guys found it useful, and if you did, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus the Messiah. I pray everybody watching this video is super blessed. And with that being said, guys, this video has been sponsored by Carl from the Moon and Jason Casper going to McDonald's.
Hello, I would like to get a Big Mac meal.
Coming to a theater near you guys. God bless and peace.